What is up, y'all? It has been a long time since we've been back in my kitchen and in front of you all filming. I'm really excited to get back. It's been super long overdue. And today we're making a recipe out of Claire Saffitz's cookbook, actually her YouTube channel. I've been watching tons and tons of her video. We're gonna be making her sweet tart. No, we're gonna be making her fruit tart, which looks so good, and I've been wanting to make this for a long time. So bear with me, I have not made or baked anything in a long time, and I'm really excited to get back into it. This is actually two different recipes in her book, her sweet pastry tart recipe and her creme patissier, which is also known as pastry cream. So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna top it off with some fruit. To start with the ingredient for the ingredients, we have all-purpose flour, almond flour, powdered sugar, diamond kosher salt, 1 egg, which we're gonna separate the egg yolk, vanilla extract, and butter. For the pastry cream, we have whole milk, eggs, butter, salt, sugar, a vanilla bean, or you can use vanilla paste or extract, and powdered sugar. And then we have a myriad of fruits, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries. And then we're gonna top it off with some apricot jam. Make sure that that butter is chilled. I just took it out for y'all to see all the ingredients, but we're gonna put that back in the fridge. Make sure our fruit's really dry and chill, and we're gonna get going. So I'm really excited to bake again, so let's do this. You're also gonna need a removable bottom 9-inch tart pan or a springform pan and a food processor. Let's go. First, what we have to do is preheat the oven to 350, which I already did. And then we need to get the almond flour. This is 40 grams of almond flour. And we're gonna spread it in like a baking dish. I'm just gonna use my tart tray for now. I don't have anything like a smaller size. And you wanna spread that out evenly in a thin layer across the bottom. And we're gonna toast these in the oven for around 6 to 10 minutes. And we just want this to be a little toasted so we get those toasty notes in the end product. Always set your timer, because if you're like me, you're going to burn everything. Okay, so now we're gonna make the dough. I have a really small food processor, so I hope this works out. But you know, if it doesn't, we will do it in smaller batches. We're gonna add in the all-purpose flour, the powdered sugar, and the salt. Ooh, yeah. And then I need to get the butter. Before we do that, I'm gonna separate my egg from my egg yolk. So what I like to do is like crack it into a bowl. And then I just use my hands to scoop out the egg yolk and let the white part just fall through your hands like that. And I think this is the easiest way to not break your egg yolk. And then I just put that into another container, and then I'll use this for like an egg white omelet or something. Close your lid on the, I don't know how this works. Let me use it. Lock it in. Pulse this up for a quick sec. I took the almond flour out of the oven. You can see that it's pretty dark, and let this cool for a sec. While that cools, we're gonna whisk together our vanilla extract, our egg yolk, and 4 teaspoons of water. I forgot to mention that earlier. Whisk that until it's a homogeneous mixture. From what I saw, this dough comes together really quick, so you just want to make sure everything's evenly mixed. So now that has a chance to cool just a little, we're going to put that mixture into the food processor. I feel like this is going to go very poorly for me. But you just want to get that almond flour into, oh God. Oh Jesus. Ow, it's hot. Hot. Not that hot, but all right, I think I lost a few grams, but should be okay. Do not recommend. So we want to pulse this together so it's all an even texture. I'm gonna pulse that a few times. It might take a little longer if you have a smaller one, but if you have one of those big ones, it's probably like 10 pulses, as it says in the book. All right, so that's good. Now we're gonna add in our cold butter that we cut into like 1/2-inch pieces. Gonna add that straight to the food processor, and we want this butter to be in like little pea sizes across the whole dough. I'm not sure, hopefully this food processor can do that for me. careful when you're using food processors, y'all. You just want to make sure that that is like small piece sizes. All of those butter pieces have been incorporated. I think we're good. Now you want to get that mixture you made with your egg yolk earlier and just pour it around. And then you're just gonna pulse this until it just forms like a dough around the blade. You don't wanna go too far. It smells pretty good though. You got it. Help it out a little bit. It's a very, very soft dough. I think we are there. Cool. So it should look something like this. You can see it's just like right around the blade. Good job, buddy. You're gonna get some plastic wrap and you're gonna put the dough right on there. Probably have to use a spatula to help you out. Don't cut yourself. These things are very dangerous. And this dough is very sticky. Get all that out and you wanna flatten it into a 1/2 inch rectangle disc, whatever shape you prefer. Wrap it onto itself, make a little envelope or pocket, and then just smush it into, oh no, there's a hole. No. Hold on. Technical difficulties. We're going to transfer. There is a hole in my first sheet for this, and just spread it out into that in an even layer. So then you have this and you're gonna refrigerate it for at least an hour, but overnight, and can last for 3 days in the fridge. Now that our tart dough is chilling in the fridge, we're going to make our pastry cream. You're gonna need a vanilla bean, or you can use a vanilla paste or a vanilla extract, but a bean's gonna give you a lot of flavor. They smell really good, and we're gonna open this up. So what you're gonna do is grab your paring knife. You're gonna cut a slit right down the bean and open up that flesh. Inside your vanilla bean, there are seeds. So you're going to get the back of your knife and you're just going to push out the seeds. All that good stuff. You want all of that. And do it a few times, get those seeds out. We're also gonna soak the pod. All of that's flavor in there, so don't miss any of it, like so. Now we're gonna infuse our milk with the vanilla, so we're gonna put our milk into a saucepan. I'm just gonna dump that pod right in there. We'll fish it out later. And just get all those seeds and make sure that they're into your mixture. All right, so we have our burner at medium-low heat, and we're just going to put our milk mixture on top so that the vanilla infuses with that. We don't want this to boil, but we want it to simmer so that vanilla infuses with the milk. I forgot to add the salt, but we're gonna dump the salt right in there. Give that a quick mixy mix, and then you're just gonna check it every so often and make sure that it's not burning on the bottom. Now things are about to happen super fast, so you just wanna make sure that you're always ready. We're going to mix our egg yolks, sugar, and our cornstarch into a large bowl. And you're gonna wanna vigorously whisk this for around 2 minutes. It looks like it's not gonna come together. Oh, I'm getting a little messy, and it's gonna become like this weird mixture, but eventually it'll liquefy and turn into this like light, smooth texture, and that's what we're going for. It's already kind of paling up in there. Don't get as much on your, oh shoot. Don't do this. All right, make sure to continue to check your milk and it's not burning, but this looks pretty good here. What we're gonna do is now we're gonna temper the eggs. So tempering the eggs is when you bring it up to temperature by using a hot liquid. We're not gonna use all of the liquid, but we're gonna use some of it to help bring this up to temperature, and then we're gonna pour it back in so then it tempers the eggs and it doesn't cook them like you would like scrambled eggs. You wanna keep whisking while you're doing this. So we're gonna take that milk mixture, which smells so good, and we're going to just, as we're whisking, we're gonna ladle in about half of this mixture. And just keep moving it around, keep moving it around. You don't wanna cook those egg yolks. And this will liquefy, move out the temperature. Keep whisking, keep whisking. As you can see it, none of those eggs have like cooked like a scrambled egg. And once you got about half that mixture in, you're pretty safe to put it back into the pot, and we're gonna cook this on medium heat. So we're good. I'm gonna pour this back in. Bring this back to the stove and cook it over medium heat while whisking. Make sure you continue to whisk. What's gonna happen is this is gonna thicken up and it's gonna become that like pastry cream texture. And you wanna keep stirring this until it does that, and take a break every like 30 seconds to see if it's bubbling. What's gonna happen, it's gonna thicken up because that cornstarch is cooking, and cornstarch is a thickener, so it makes it thick. And if you don't cook the cornstarch, it's not gonna get that thickened texture. You don't want to stop whisking because it'll start cooking the eggs at the bottom, and then you'll end up with like a scrambled egg in some of it. We're gonna strain it anyway, but you want to avoid that as much as you can. And as you whisk, you can feel it. It is thickening up. It's a little harder and harder to whisk. That's a good thing. And it will change a little bit of color. And look, you can see now it's thickening up a lot. You don't want to overcook it, but you want to cook it enough so that your pastry cream is cooked all the way. Right, so I think it's good. I'm going to turn off the heat. You see that? If you don't see those bubbles, it's not cooked enough. But if you stop cooking and you see bubbles, you're good. Our pastry cream is now done. We have this sieve over a bowl, and we're going to strain out that pastry cream just in case there is any egg at the bottom. We want to avoid that. I'm gonna sieve this through the bowl so that it is very smooth and silky and just delicious. And then you'll see like those pieces of the vanilla bean that we don't want in there will be gone. Just make sure to scrape the bottom of your sieve, get all that cream out. While it's hot, you want to get your butter, and you're going to whisk it in here one at a time until it gets nice and smooth. That residual heat will melt the butter, so don't worry about it not melting. Now that our pastry cream is done, you're going to cover it with saran wrap or some type of plastic wrap because a film will form over it as it cools. And we need to put this in the fridge for at least an hour. I'm gonna probably leave it overnight, but we'll see. Pop this in the fridge. We're back and we got our chilled dough and we got our tart tray. So what we're going to do is get this and line the pan with this. So we're gonna unwrap our dough that's been chilled, and we're going to cut this in half. And then this half, we're gonna cut into 6 slices. So you can use a bench scraper or a knife, whatever you need. And so now we're gonna line this. So we're gonna roll these out into an even surface, and we're just gonna line around our tart tray here. Just try to get that all the way around. Make sure you're overlapping so there's no excess space. Interesting. She says 6, but 5 filled it. So let's just put random blobs around where it looks kind of thin. So what we're gonna do is try to line this up so it's overhanging on top of the tart pan. So what you do is just kind of roll it through. And you want some of that overhang so we can have a nice clean edge. We're going to cut that off. My pieces aren't that even, so a little difficult. Oh, no, I'm a dum-dum. Get some flour, and you want to flour your measuring cup or whatever you're using so it doesn't stick to the tart dough. Oh yeah, much, much, much better. If it gets sticky, make sure to reflour. Try to get that as even as you can. I'm not doing the best job, but this is my first time making a tart, so bear with me a little bit. So we see there's a lot of excess and maybe you have some holes around. I'm just gonna try to fill them in. With the bottom portion, you're gonna wanna break it up into little bits and just try to smash it into areas. The dough is super soft, so you don't want to like roll it into areas, she says. So just try to get it there and then you'll smooth it all out. I don't know if this is enough dough. Flour that and push it down to connect. Actually, I'm just going to use my fingers for right now. I don't know about this, y'all. I'm a little nervous about the amount of dough in my pan. It seemed like she had a lot more dough. Claire, help. Try your best. Maybe even out the areas this is not going to plan. Kind of make sure you close that seam at the bottom because you don't want your pastry cream to be kind of falling out. Claire, Claire. Oh no, I don't think I'm doing this right. I feel like it's just getting worse. Oh my gosh. Doing a little patchwork over here. Don't mind me. I'm gonna stick with that and see how it goes. All right, 20 minutes later, I'm a hot mess, but now we're going to shave off the top using a paring knife. I have a curved one here. Just gonna make nice slashes through to reveal that top edge, and we just wanna get a nice, clean finish on top. Mine does not look as good as Claire's, but you know, can always win. It's first tart ever. She says keep the scraps in case you need to do any filling later. Dude, my edges are so messy. I think I have too much scrap. So I'm just gonna fill in some places that look a little bit see-through to me. I think that's enough. I'm going to put this in the oven for 15 minutes. I'm gonna clean up and grab something to eat. Keep those scraps. I lied, y'all. I forgot to do something. You need to get foil and place it right over into your pie so that it helps it keep its shape in the oven. My bad. Back in. Oh God. All right, so this cooked for 20 minutes with the foil on. And then I took the foil off and cooked for another 10 to 15 minutes. As you can see, it did not turn out that amazing, but you know it's cooked because it's kind of pulling away from the pan. But I got a lot of crumbling and cracking everywhere. So we're gonna take that reserved dough and we're just going to really make small little amounts, and we're going to just press it into areas where we think that there's gonna be like a hole or a crack, because we don't want our pastry cream to fall through there. You probably should do this when it's cool, but it's really late. It's like 1 a.m. So I'm trying to go to sleep. You don't need to bake this again. It's like such small amount of dough that it's not a huge deal. I think that's good. I'm going to let this rest and cool, and then we'll put the pastry cream in. All right, so this is not completely cooled, but I'm really tired and I want to go to sleep. So I'm going to just put the pastry cream in now so that it can set up in there overnight. It's kind of set in here actually, but we're going to get that into our pie dish. And it doesn't need to be like really perfect because we're gonna put fruit on top of that. I guess you didn't need to chill it before she just poured it in and then chilled it. So maybe that's the way to go, because right now it's kind of set and kind of gloppy. But yeah, just smoothing that across. Again, doesn't need to be perfect because there will be fruit on top of this. Just make sure that layer's even. Got that smooth in there, and we're just going to let this rest overnight. We're gonna put plastic wrap on top. Hopefully this sheet I pulled is big enough to cover it all. It is perfect. Yeah, put that plastic wrap on top so that skin does not form. Put that in the fridge and we'll see you tomorrow. We're back, it's the next day. We have our pie tart. I did release it from the pan because I needed to bake a second one, which looks way better. What we're gonna do is put that tart pan on a bowl or a glass that's smaller than the tart pan and just push the side down so that it releases the pie tart crust. Here it is chilled. I just took it out. It should be pretty set by now. You can tell it's set when you cut through it. You see that it's not like spreading apart or anything like that. So it looks like we're good to put on the fruit. We're basically done. We just gotta put fruit on it and then eat it. So what we're gonna do, like just randomly scatter them around. I'm gonna cut some of the berries in half to expose some of that inner side. You like to see some of those profile cross sections. It's kind of like whatever you like. Some people like to arrange it really like too neatly, which I think is a little too, I don't know, something about that I don't like. Kind of looks weird, like you tried too hard. But I like how Claire, she just kind of throws them on in a tactful way. Raspberries are really delicate, so I'm not gonna cut too many of them. All right, so now I'm just going to grab some of these berries and randomly drop them across the top. These are really ugly raspberries, so not too happy about them. They're kind of like squished and stuff. And some of the blackberries, oh shoot. We just want it to look really bountiful. Lots of fruit on the top. I think I'm gonna be good there. We don't wanna overdo it. Right now what we're gonna do is something really quick. We're gonna do a quick glaze on top. I'm going to just melt some apricot jam and then we're gonna strain it and then glaze some of the top. I'm just going to melt that over like medium-low heat and then we're going to brush it on top. We got that jam warmed up and what we're gonna do is just strain that through really quick. What we're left with is just the glaze part and what we're gonna do is just glaze some of these berries to give it a nice shine. Claire says you should dab it on because it can cause streaks if you don't. I think we're good. And that's it. This is our tart. Looks really good. I'm very excited to try it. All right, let's wrap this up with a taste test. I'm really excited to try this. Apparently it's hard to cut, so we're just gonna be really careful about it. Use a serrated knife to get through that tart. Oh, this does not look that good. Oh God, oh no, okay. Yeah, okay, it's out. Come on, come on. Oh no. Oh God, fruit overboard. All right, not the worst, not the best, but just reconstruct that. First slice is always the hardest. Not too bad, it's set. There's just a ton of fruit on it, so let's go in. Oh, it's still crunchy. Oh. Oh, come on. Oh, man. Wow. Dude, a fresh vanilla bean is insane. I've actually never cooked with one. Well, I guess like in something like this. Whoa. That tart is crisp. The fruit balance. Oh my. Y'all. This is. Oh my gosh, this is. I should not be eating this whole thing. Holy crap. Wow. It's like not too sweet, but that tart is flaky, crunchy, crispy. Not crunchy, but crispy. Cream, just sweet enough, not too sweet. The fruit adds a little tart, a little sweet with the apricot jam. Wow, wow, wow. I'm actually pretty impressed. We're gonna give this one a 10 out of 10. Claire always hits it out of the park and it's just so pretty and really impressive. And to be honest, it's not that hard and you can make a lot of it ahead of time. So I'm really impressed. I think I'll make this. I actually am gonna make it again. I have a second one that I need to make, but yeah, this was really good and I definitely recommend you try it out. But yeah, that's it for today, y'all. Hit that like and subscribe button and comment below on what recipes you want me to try next. This was really fun. I'm so excited to be back in the kitchen. So thanks for watching. Peace.